What's up, guys? It's Colin. You're listening to the Env. I'm here with Josh Farley, good friend of mine, and he's going to talk to us a little bit today about his untraditional approach to entrepreneurship. At least that's what I'm calling it. So what's up, Josh? Thanks for
What's
coming
up, bro? What's going on? Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. Just want to talk a little bit about your journey because to me, and I think to our listeners as well, it's very untraditional than a stereotypical blue-collar service-based industry. So tell us a little bit about yourself, when you started your entrepreneur journey, and just, hit us with it.
Word, yeah. So basically, I'm 24. My name's Josh Farley. Instagram handle's Josh Sold the House. That's how most people know me. But yeah,
Real life monopoly, baby.
real life monopoly. But yeah, so as far as like my entrepreneurial journey, I think that started when I was real young. Like I always wanted to do something, but I hated like working at a place. So like originally, like I worked at like a little like a diner in Feasterville, Irwin's Country Kitchen, and I hated it. And I was like, yo, hold on. So I'm making like $20 a day here. I can definitely go cut some lawns. So that's how it like ended up starting.
Entrepreneur, baby.
Yeah, baby, let's go. But as far as like diving into it as I got older, I really was like just lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like working for my uncle here, and then I was like doing collision repair that we were talking about before the show. And somebody told me like, yo, like this is what I was doing. This guy was older. He's like 40 years old and basically retired doing real estate. He had a bunch of properties. He was a real estate agent, and I just like loved everything that he did on his end. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. There's no one around me that I'm looking at that I'm like, that's what I want to do when I grow up.
Right.
And I seen him, and I was like, yo, that's the life. Like, this dude's living it up. So I decided to get my real estate license. And
how old are you at this point?
at that point, I was, let's see, so.
Because like the collision thing was tech school, right? So
Yeah, tech school.
So this is all post
high school.
High school.
Yeah, so.
And no college.
No college.
Right.
No, so I was working at the wrap shop, and I like saved up all my money. I was like, yo, I'm going to buy a house. So I reached out to my aunt's friend that was a real estate agent. She helped me buy my house. At that point, I was like 21. And that was like my step into real estate.
Right.
And I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I was like, I'm going to buy like a fixer-upper, like grandmom's house, and I'll fix it up at some point when I have the money.
Yeah.
So.
But in the meantime, it was just like hustle, make the money,
just
however
hustle.
the hell it came.
Yeah, I was like working, I was doing side jobs, like whatever I could do. I was just stacking money.
Yeah.
And so she helped me buy my house, and then reached out to me. Was like, hey, like I really love talking to you throughout the process. Like I think you should get your real estate license. Like you'd really be good at it. And I was like, yo, that's something I've been thinking about, but I don't know. So I signed up for like online real estate school, and I was like almost finished, and I just let the thing time out, and it failed. I was like, oh shit. So I have to restart this whole thing. I called them
from scratch.
Like, yeah, they're like, oh yeah, you got to redo it, and it's 75 hours. You got to redo the whole thing. I was like, oh, this is tragic.
Yeah.
So I called her, and I was like, hey, I don't know what to do here. Like, and she's like, you need to just come in and do like the in-person school. And like,
right.
I don't know, most people that start businesses, like, we're not good at school. That's
right.
the thing. So I was like, whatever, I'm going to go and do it. So I did that, and I finally got my real estate license after all that, and just dove into it. And basically from there on, I just branched out and learned different things that correlated with real estate. So throughout my process of like starting to sell houses and noticing what people were going through, I was like, all right, I'm sending people to credit repair companies over and over to get their credit fixed. I'm like, all right, I'm going to start that and figure out how to do it myself so I can make the money on that end. And I kind of figured out how to do that. So I branched into that section a little bit.
And like time frame wise, what do we?
That was within like my first like 6 or 7 months of me
getting your license.
Yeah, getting my license and like starting to do real estate. My whole first year, I literally like didn't do any business. Like I felt like I was doing so much work. I was grinding as hard as I could, like reaching out, cold calling, door knocking, like open houses every Sunday, and it like nothing was like.
And I don't think people always realize that as a realtor, like
it's no
you have to find your clients.
So
it's
like,
not just like
that's the thing. Like everybody's like, oh, this isn't working out. I'm gonna get my real estate license. I'm like, yeah, dude, you do that, and then it still won't work
good luck
out.
Finding fucking clients,
literally, and it's literally everybody says that is successful in the business is remember like the 3 months of work you're doing now, you'll get paid in 3 months for it. Mm-hmm. So like if you don't learn how to save your money and learn how to actually budget,
you're gonna starve.
You can screw up bad in that business. But yeah, so I was like putting in the work, and I was like, all right, let me figure out a few other things that I can branch off to, or at least figure out how to make money on these aspects as well.
So you
And
saw that void in the credit issue.
yeah, and then I like dove into credit, figuring out like, okay, how are people fixing people's credit? You know what I mean? And there was like a whole bunch of back end stuff, like basically like filing dispute letters and doing this, and I started doing it all for myself, and I was like, all right, this is not what I want to do, because everything I wanted to do was basically like putting my money into something that is going to pay me without me actually doing the work. So I could hire people to do it.
So with this, there was a lot of legwork, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
and I'm just asking because I truly don't understand even how that works.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like, you're literally, first I got to get every ounce of someone's life basically to work on their credit. And then on top of that, you're filling out all these dispute letters, and then you're mailing them to the credit bureaus, and then it was
so
like
it's a process.
It's a lot of legwork.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, this isn't like for me. So I helped a few people get their credit right, and then I ended up reaching out to someone that I knew that was doing it, and they're doing a very good job at it. They had a big business, and I was like, look, I have this following on Instagram. People are constantly hitting me up. Can you pay me out if I like give you referrals? And the guy's like, yeah, like let's do that. So then it turned into me just having that as like a referral thing. So now I just like affiliate marketing. Like if someone hits me up, I'm like, yo, I don't do it. I know a guy that does it. I can connect you. You talk to him. If everything sounds good, you pay him. And then he just pays me out. So that was like how I realized that I was like, okay, I'm on to something here with like branding my social media and building a personal brand, because you can have a whole business page, but if you don't actually put your face in front of something where people can like correlate with you and be like, yo, I can talk to that guy. He's personable. And once I realized that, it was over. I just started growing my page as much as possible. I was constantly like reaching out to people, following people, messaging, commenting.
And putting out content all the while we're doing
this. Yeah, on top of that, putting out content. And that's when I would really be reaching out to people heavily, is like the more I'm posting content, the more I'd reach out to people. So when they do click on my page, they have something to see right away.
Right.
And for me, I personally always focus on having my stories up.
Yeah.
And then posting quality content on my feed.
Sure.
Like, I feel like there is a lot of people that just post whatever.
Just to be relevant.
But having that quality feed, like when you're really showing that you're spending the money on your content, it's next level. People are like, yo, this is professional. Like, this dude actually cares.
Right.
So clearly his product's going to be quality as well.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
You're offering value on a daily basis. But then in turn, you're also flooding the story. So it's like in your fucking face. And then when they see the post, it's quality.
Exactly. So it's like nonstop. So I really focused on just building that up. And then from building my brand on Instagram, the amount of business I started getting for real estate was insane. Like my second year, I literally hit my third year goal. You know what I mean?
Shit.
And now this year I doubled that. So it's just been consistently coming from Instagram. Like nowhere else really other than that.
And what is your like target?
So my first year I wanted to do $2.5 million in volume.
No, I don't mean sales, like your demographic. What kind of people are you working with? Like, is it all relatively young people like ourselves? Or?
Yeah, so that's been kind of like one of the coolest things that I've got to do in the business is
help your friends out.
All my business is either investor clients, which I'm super passionate about, and I actually learn from them as much as I'm able to provide value.
Right.
And then first-time buyers.
Yeah.
I did sell a couple houses for people that were like moving on to a new house or something like that, but the large majority has been all buyer side, and it's all first-time home buyers.
Oh, shit.
And like being able to just be in front of somebody and sit next to them at the closing table after the whole process is through, and you can see like that instant like, oh my gosh, I just bought a house, like joy.
Yeah.
That's next level. That's been part of the thing that's like kept me like motivated to do this as much as I can.
That's so rewarding.
But kind
for
of
many people, it's their biggest accomplishment ever. So
literally, it's your biggest purchase the majority of people ever make, and to be a part of that has been something that I just can't grasp how impactful it is. And that's like, I don't know if you ever noticed in my bio it says impact over income, and that's
but I like that.
That's what I noticed. It was funny. So like our whole first form thing, but when I was talking to Megan and like she asked me that, like she was like, dude, like that's relates so much with our brand here, like that's why it's like
that is first form.
It's great to like be around other people that all see, once they see that and they realize, they're like, dude, nothing else you say at this point like I care about, you already like sold me on that, because and to say it, but then prove it.
Sure.
That's like I've helped people in the whole home buying process to the point where they were like had no chance of buying a house to where they were able to buy a house, and then they ended up buying a house with somebody else. And it's like, do I even care at that point? I knew I provided as much value as I personally could, that I'm okay with myself on that.
Yeah,
you know
because you did everything that you could.
Exactly. But yeah, so like as far as like the untraditional approach, it's been basically building my real estate business and then taking my profits from my real estate business and putting them into things that are going to keep working for me whether I'm here or not. So I built out like a course to teach people basically, as I was learning about credit, I learned how to travel using my credit cards for basically traveling for free and doing all that cool stuff.
Which we'll have to have a discussion about.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that.
Maybe off the record. I need to learn more about that.
I got you.
This motherfucker's in a different country every week.
Dude, we literally, like, that's been one of my goals for the year was, like, to travel 12 times over the course of the year. So, like, basically once a month.
Where you at now?
I'm in,
No. How many trips have you taken?
We're at 9 or 10, I think. But
I think you'll make it.
I'm going to the DR at the end of the month. So, and then we're going. This isn't like a new one after that, but I'm going to Florida for my sister-in-law's wedding.
Sweet.
So, but you know, we just try and like keep going places and checking it out, learning new things. It's, like, on top of everything else, I always tell people, like, if you come to me and you're like, yo, I have no motivation. Like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I'm not passionate about anything. I can't get excited to like do more. I'm just cool with going to work, but I feel like I want to do more. Go travel, dude. Yep. Go to a different country, see everything there is to see, and you're going to come back and be like, yo, there's a lot more in this world I want to see, and I got to figure out a way to pay for it.
Yeah. Dude, you don't even have to leave the country. And, like, I could say I was very coddled, you know, our Bucks County bubble. It's a real fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, I got out west 2 years ago to Lake Tahoe, and I just, like, still to this day, I remember standing on top of our hike at Emerald Bay, and I'm like, this is our, like, there's more than just Bucks County.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, I was in Puerto Rico, like, 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
And I never had this feeling. I don't know why. Like, I've been to other Caribbean islands, but, like, we were just driving around, just exploring. We went, like, 3 hours to the other side of the island. And we were at this point where I could literally look to my left and see the water, and look to my right and see the water on the other side of the island. I was like, all right, this is cool, but it's creepy at the same time because we're literally like 5 miles wide here. If a big wave comes, we're done. Yes, but yeah, it's just been like, so learning how to do that. I basically put together like a little course just to teach people because everybody was asking me all the time, and that's something that's been just paying me. As people message me, hey, I want to join, and all right, here, and they join. So it's something that I don't actually have to like leave my house and go and do.
Right.
And there's been days where I'll like just do like a free Zoom or a webinar and teach people something, and then people see the value and they're like, hold on, like if the value's from there and I can pay to get even more value or give way more away, not for free. Like I've done a lot in one night sometimes. You know what I mean? But it's been crazy just learning how to affiliate market and market aside from things that are actual like tangible objects as well. You know what I mean? Something that's e-commerce or online.
Yeah, I mean, talk about untraditional. Let me teach you how to get some free vacations.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Dude, and it's like there's so much out there to learn, and like just as I always say that, like if someone has an iPhone in their hand, how many hours a day do you think they're on Instagram? If you build your feed out to be something that's
except yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Except yesterday, and that's another thing. Like you have to be able to build aside from that, because if not, like, dude, people lost everything yesterday. They were probably like heartbroken. People that like that had millions of followers that sell all day on Instagram, like, that's tragic.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you take your Instagram feed and just build it out to something that's going to consistently teach you throughout your day instead of scrolling and looking at butts all day. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I was thinking. Then.
Yeah.
It's funny you went there, yeah.
But it's like if you're scrolling and every person you're watching a video or a post or reading a caption and it's like informing you about something, it's like, yo, like I literally gain knowledge every single day.
Sure.
And that's something that goes unmatched, because when you get into a room,
and it doesn't really take that much work. Like, sit the fuck down for an hour and clean out your Instagram feed and put some content in there that's going to better yourself.
Literally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you look at certain people,
or stop listening to the baby and start listening to some podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you go and follow, I'd guarantee if you went on
No disrespect to baby. If you
Yeah. If you went on, I'm sure if you went on Andy Frisella's Instagram and looked who he follows and go and follow the same people, I guarantee you're going to have motivation for throughout your day. You know what I mean?
Guarantee it as well.
110%.
Right.
But it's simple as that. It's just I recreated the information I was consuming on a day-to-day.
Motherfucker recreated the wheel. No, I'm just kidding.
I literally just recreated the information I was consuming every day, and then I was like, all right, I can build off of this.
Right.
And now, as my real estate business is growing and we're investing into different things, I don't know if you want to dive into that, but like,
yes, please.
So
let's dive into Airbnb.
Yeah. So
because this, I aside from bringing light to the situation for the listeners, like I'm genuinely curious about this. So give me the rundown. When did this start?
So, ready? This is how this started. So, my buddy Ian, he was a real estate agent at a different office, and I've been trying to bring him on to
What's Ian's Insta handle?
Dixon did the deal.
That's it. I like that.
Sounds like Josh sold the house, right?
His is better.
Unreal. But I was like trying to bring him in to come work at KW, build my downline. Eventually, I want to bring Ian on as part of my team and have him handle some of the buyers and stuff. So he finally came over and joined, and we just were like going to the gym, whatever, talking. And at the point, like, me and Ian weren't like best friends, and that's why I think it ended up working out as a good partnership, because we became good friends through the partnership.
Right.
But I called him the one night, and I was like, yo, dude, like, I really want to do this thing. It's so, like, out there, like, you're not going to believe me when I tell you. And he's like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to open a gym. And he was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I want to open, like, a warehouse gym. And he was like, dude, that'd be sick, whatever. But he's like, I really want to do this thing that I was, like, reading about. Would you be interested in partnering? I'm like, yeah, what is it? He's like, I'm going to start an Airbnb. I was like, Airbnb? Where? And he's like, I don't know, dude, like in Philly or something. I was like, all right, let me look about it. Like, let me learn about it. Send me the course you bought. Like, let me watch it. So I watched that course, and I texted him. I was like, all right, let's do it. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, all right, like, let's do it.
I'm in, yeah.
I'm in. Like, we're sold. So that's another thing, like, with the credit. Like, I was like, all right. I had like a 0% card, and I just pulled the cash off it, and we split it, so it wasn't much. It was like $5K out of each of our pockets, a little bit less than that, and I just pulled the cash off the card. We went and started looking at properties the next weekend, found a spot we liked, and signed the lease on it. So basically, we leased the unit, and then for 12 months. Actually, we got like a 13 month lease, so we got like a free month.
Yeah.
And then we subleased the unit on Airbnb. So we got in there, we furnished the whole unit, and put it up on Airbnb. And like the basis of it was just find a location that's hot.
Yeah.
Like we're right in Northern Liberties. So where if you ever partied in the city.
No, but I know that everybody that went to high school with moved to Northern Liberties. So it must be pretty
cool.
You
roll your jeans up like ankle high and like.
All right, look, let's not talk about the cuff jeans, because I do rock that. All right.
You know where like Rivers Casino is? Have you ever seen that? No.
I've been to Northern Liberties one time.
Ah,
There's this dope breakfast spot. What the hell is it called?
North 3rd.
No, my buddy Roman took me there. Cafe La Mode.
Okay.
You know it?
I know what you're talking about.
Dude,
I haven't been there before. Someone told me it was fire, though.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry.
Anyway, if you're ever going to try another breakfast spot, North 3rd, shameless plug, that place is gas.
Okay.
But yeah, so we got it right there, like the main street. There's all these bars and everything. It's always a good time at night. And then it's close to the train, so people can like go to the games, whatever, wherever they want to go. Got it all furnished. So from him telling me to that was like about a month of us like getting.
Yeah, I remember you guys are dropping little hints like, "Oh, we're up to something," and you're shopping. I'm like, "What the fuck are they doing?"
Yeah, and you got to build a suspense.
It worked,
dude. Well, that's another thing. So like, there's an algorithm on Airbnb just like there is on anything else.
Right.
And to get to the top of Airbnb's search isn't easy.
Yeah.
So I posted on my Instagram, and like luckily enough people that engage with me on a day-to-day all went and liked it.
The secret sauce.
So literally, dude, like if you type in Philadelphia on Airbnb, we're the top Airbnb that comes up like every single time. And we're a super host now, so like you got to hit all the criteria. Like
Brad, why don't we rent this place and ruin this guy's reputation? I'm just kidding.
Yo, so that like,
it's wild though. I mean, you
not all good things come with it. So literally, we, like, poor judgment on our part, somebody booked the Airbnb one night, and we didn't do, like, review checks, and
Party animals?
Yeah, bro, they went in and trashed the place.
What?
And at the time, like, when I signed my lease, like, I kind of told the realtor at the time, I was like, yo, this is what I'm trying to do. He's like, bro, I don't care, just cut my check. I said, all right, cool. So we
That's
cut
what I
the
was going
check.
to ask you. So pretty much he doesn't give a fuck. You're giving his money up front. So, like,
Yeah, so he was like,
don't
cut the
wreck my
check.
fucking place.
Yeah, well, it's a big corporation that owns the building.
Oh, okay.
So I got a call the other day from Tampa, Florida. I'm like,
Oh, no.
Who the hell is this? So I answered the phone, and it's the owner of the
Right.
building, not the property management. No, the owner. He's like, "What's up, bro? What's going on?" I was
Yeah, is this Josh sold this house?
Yo, I was like,
It's a fucking beef.
I'm like, who is this? Because, like, the way he was talking, he's like, what's good, man? Like, what's up?
Oh, no.
And he's like, my name's so-and-so. I ain't going to say his name, plug him in here.
Right.
But he's like, I own the building, and you got to get out. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you got to get out. And I was like, when? Like, when do I got to be out? And
Right.
he was like right now. Like, get out. And I was like, oh, shit. So I didn't know how to handle it at the time,
Yeah.
and I was just like, hey, man, I got to call you back. Click.
Right.
And I was like, dude, I just banged on that dude, and he's pissed at me. So I, like, gained my composure. I called him back, and I was like, yo, what's going on, bro? Like, what can we do here? Like, I was like, this is what happened when I rented the spot. Dude basically told me to cut him a check, and he's like, well, I would have told you, like, I didn't want you in there in the first place. But I guess we're past that point. And I was like, all right, well, what do you want as a landlord? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what do you care about? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm a landlord. I know what I want. What do you want?
Right.
And he was like, well, I want my rent paid on time. I want my building in one piece all the time. I don't want parties, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
I was like, all right, well, listen. I was like, if we can remediate that, make sure this never occurs again. I was like, I know I paid my rent before everybody did for this month. Like,
Yeah,
we
you paid for the whole
we
year.
paid by like the 10th. Like, we're, you know what I mean? We're always on top of everything.
Right.
And I was like, and I'm 100% occupied for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, when's your next guest get there? And I was like, yeah. So he's like, so like in an hour probably, right? And I was like, yeah, exactly. And he's like, all right, dude, let me talk to my partners and we'll figure it out. Just keep doing as you do and don't have any parties. And I was like, all right, cool, thanks.
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. You know what I mean? You're gonna take the L's where it's like, oh shit. And then
Right.
especially the dude trashing the place. Like, luckily my partner was able to handle the situation. I was in Puerto Rico when it happened. You know what I mean? So he called me. He's like, yo, dude. I was like, what? He's like, this place is trash.
What did he do?
Luckily they didn't break anything, but they literally, like, every towel in the entire place was like soaked on the floor. All the sheets were like destroyed. There was food everywhere. Like, the entire counter was like piled food and trash, and
Right.
like it looked like someone poured mud all over the floors.
Jesus.
And then there's like a roof deck there, so they
Yeah.
like trashed the roof deck. Like, chairs were upside down, whatever. But
So that's probably what.
yeah, and like I'm
Raised the
sure they were
eyebrows.
being loud, obnoxious. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, but it is what it is at this point. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I'm gonna just keep pushing, and
Right.
that was like I guess like a week and a half ago. But
Okay.
we haven't had any issues since, and now I super check everybody. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, if someone's staying, I like double ID verification and do all the back end
Right.
things just to make sure we don't have any issues.
Yeah.
But we got it pretty automated now to the point where, like, we have our cleaner.
That's what I was just gonna ask you.
Yeah.
It's like, what's turnover look like?
So at first, like, me and Ian were doing it all the time, and then my friend Amber, Amber May Cleaning. We basically partnered with her, and I was like, hey, Amber, like, I really would like you to do this for me. Like,
Right.
if you can handle it. And luckily, she was able to bring on some new employees and figure it out. And now
Handle it
she
for you,
kind
yeah.
of
'Cause I remember last time we were talking about this, you said you didn't have, or she was too busy to do it.
yeah,
So
she
that's
was too
awesome.
busy,
Yeah.
but luckily she got some employees and that were able to like fill in the gaps where they had voids, and now she's doing it. So that's cool. We have that handled on that end. As far as like the messages coming in, we're figuring out how to like automate the messages so we don't
Yeah.
really have to answer anybody.
You get a lot of stupid questions.
Yes and no. Like, I mean, literally, when I walked in here, we got like a booking. Some lady's like, hey, I want to throw like a party. It's going to be like 45 people. Like, it's going to be a peaceful party on the roof. I was like, yeah, beat a geek. You know what I mean? Like, no.
Find somewhere else.
It's a 1-bedroom unit. Like,
Yeah.
get lost.
45 people. That's cool, right?
Yeah, just a slight get together,
Yeah.
you know.
So what are these renters? I guess it's or short-term leasers, whatever you call them. What do they look like? Your guess?
Are
Are they local? Like, are these people traveling,
so
or
it's
is
been
it a
a
mix?
lot of New York. I guess
Okay.
people coming into town for work.
Right.
And then we had some dude.
That's what you're looking for. minimal footprint. Someone just visiting for work, barely there.
Yeah, we've had somebody flew in. They were in the town from Texas. A couple of different people. Usually, like, we're near the Fillmore and stuff like that, so a lot of people are like going to concerts.
Right.
It was cool. The one guy, they left their shoes at the property when they left, and Amber messaged me. She's like, "Hey, someone's shoes are here," and I was like, "I'm gonna be nice." Like, I messaged the dude. I'm like, "Hey, man, what's your address? Like, I'll ship the shoes out to you."
Yeah.
And we ended up texting like back and forth, and he was like, "I really appreciate like you guys, the hospitality. The place was great, et cetera, et cetera." I actually proposed on the roof. And
no shit.
Me and my girlfriend are now engaged, all that stuff.
Wow.
I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, that's such a cool story to
Guy
hear.
was so happy he forgot his shoes.
Literally. Knocked the shoes right off his feet. But yeah, so it was one of the things. It's been cool.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, all right, let's get another one.
Yeah, like, what's next?
Now I think we're going to try and buy something in like AC. I want to buy a duplex in AC and rent out one unit as like a full-term rental, like 12-month lease, and then Airbnb the other. So that unit will pay the entire note, and then the Airbnb will be profit.
No shit.
Because instead of getting the $300-$400 a month on a normal rental, if I can get $3,000 a month profit on that, like, no brainer.
And what's your thought as far as now that you have a little taste of it? Like, I mean, obviously this one's a little bit unique because you're subleasing, but you know, would you do a sublease again, or do you want to own? Yeah,
I think I would. I want to.
And you're looking to scale this?
Yeah, I definitely want to scale this because, I mean, not to talk numbers, but it does very, very well.
I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah, so the rent's $1,500. Last month it did $3,700.
Shit.
Yeah.
And like, what's the ROI after? Like, obviously you had to furnish it and whatnot. Like,
yeah, so we basically will make our money back.
And we could do percentages, you know.
Yeah, we'll make our money back probably next month.
Okay.
And then we have 9 months to profit. So, you know what I mean? It'll probably make like $20K over the course of the year.
Some good extra income, huh?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. If you have 5 or 10 of those, you know what I mean, per month, that's a hefty income off some vacation rentals.
Yeah. And especially if you can figure a way to get it autonomous, which it sounds like you guys are going to do.
Yeah, I definitely want to get it to the point. So mistakes I made going into it, I didn't order all my furniture as soon as we signed the lease.
Oh, no.
So we waited till our move-in date.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's what we ran into. Everything we wanted to order, nothing was in stock. So we like literally threw this together with like random pieces we found like Amazon and Wayfair.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we went to IKEA. Every single thing we wanted was sold out.
It's wild.
Like, I think I bought a plant at IKEA. That's it. Everything else we had to like order online. So now, like, in the future, I'm ordering everything up front, and I'm just having it delivered the day after we move in or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I want to get something in like Myrtle Beach, Atlanta, Miami, Vegas, like any major city that has tourism. Because I didn't think Philly would be like that. I can't imagine what some of them other places would be like.
That's what I like. I mean, again, not that I know much about Philadelphia, but that's wild. Like, I
wouldn't want to stay there. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny is, like, there's a small part of me after speaking with you right now that kind of wants to stay there for a weekend. So if you got like the homie hookup discount code, let me know.
Yeah, I got you. Just text me.
What do you
we
think?
Can't
Brad?
Venmo. You got to pay me cash now.
No, I mean that's freaking cool.
It's funny because I was like looking through some of the names that booked it, and like I know some of the people.
Really?
Like, not like personally,
and do you think,
but just they.
Do you think it's
Instagram.
Just random, or they went through your Instagram?
Yeah, they definitely booked it at that time or at some.
There's
point.
that personal brand at work again, man.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
People undervalue that.
I think in 2021, honestly, since 2020. If you haven't had a personal brand, you lost out on thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, the after effects of the pandemic, if you didn't come out of there with some kind of skill, and especially that skill of grow your Instagram because it's the easiest thing you can do, or your social platform, your social proof, you're getting left behind.
For sure.
How many brands do you know that aren't on social media or some kind of...
Hey, Envious Media, that's kind of what we do, right?
Yeah, you guys do something like pictures. We're
modernizing small business, you know, so we 100% agree with that.
Yeah, and like
even like you said, aside from just like a company brand, a personal brand is also huge.
And that's where I made my mistake, I think, my first like 12 months in real estate. So I grew a real estate page without ever showing my face.
Yeah.
I would post pictures
Who the
of like
fuck wants to buy a house from someone they don't know?
yeah, I would post pictures of like nice houses and shit like that. It's like, what are you doing? And I literally spent
Look at this house that I don't have for sale.
Yeah, I would literally post all this shit all the time, and
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I not getting traction? Like, what am I doing wrong here?
Right.
And then I came across this one dude's page one day, and like he was whatever talking, and I was like, wait a minute, personal brand. Am I doing something wrong here?
Yeah.
So I archived every single picture off the thing, and I just started posting value. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this is what happens when you buy a house. This is what this is. This is, you know what I mean?
Right.
And as I started doing that, I'm like, hold on, now my page is growing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally like just
How many followers do you have now?
like 13 or 14,000.
Okay.
I had like a big drop off at one point. I think it was just like, you know how Instagram does like a cleaning on people's accounts?
Do you not?
Yeah, so they'll like clean people's accounts.
Like the
So like
fake accounts that
yeah,
follow
like
you?
people that like don't have like legitimate accounts or whatever. And so I started like I lost like some followers, and then you know you get the random followers all the time. That it's like,
Yeah.
go follow my OnlyFans. I'm like, nah, I'm all right. Like
Yeah.
I'll pass on that one. But yeah, so like my page has been like pretty consistent and growing, like
Right on.
usually like 100, 200 per month. So I'm just trying to really get it to the point where it's like, okay, like this is official. Like if I message you and you see my page, you're like, all right, this dude's legitimate. Like
Yeah.
I want to see what he has to offer.
Right.
And that's kind of on like tagging off the affiliate marketing and
Yeah.
stuff. Like as people grow with me and I grow with
Right.
them, it's easy to sell when you have a backing of
Right.
10,000 followers plus. You know what I mean?
So it sounds like it's the key to building a personal, or the key to an untraditional path is to first build a personal brand on social platforms. Would you agree?
100%. Especially
like-
just get to that 10K mark where you can have the swipe up feature because it's so easy to.
I want that for this.
That's what I'm saying. Like today, I said to you, I was like, why didn't this link attach in my next post?
Because
You
we're
just-
nobody still.
Stop. You just attach that link, and I can see how many people clicked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that link's right there versus me saying, hey, go check out this page.
Convenience, man. I mean, that's
Yeah, people are
the
lazy.
name of the game at this point.
Exactly.
So, three takeaways. Like, if you had to tell someone who's starting or trying to start a personal brand, and honestly, this is going to be super applicable for me because I'm about to try to do this myself.
I've seen the way you're branded.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get, and I try to do this with the landscaping company, put myself in front of the camera more.
Yeah.
I'm a little more comfortable doing it personally than through like the landscaping business.
Yeah.
So for me, but also for the listeners, like 3 key points you think that are important in building that personal brand.
Okay, so first key point would be like have either a super basic name, like your first and last name,
Right.
that it's just who you are, what you are. Make sure your bio lets everybody know
What you're
who
about.
you are, what you are,
Yeah.
short, simple, and sweet. And then on top of that, just engage with other people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to engage. If you're not engaging, you're not going to grow the way you want to grow. So, like, I don't know
You
if
post every day and you're not engaging, you're not bringing any value to anybody.
yeah, so like I always want to add like polls or questions to my stories, and I'm in people's messages all day as like interacting with them, and then anytime I post, I always reply to everybody's comment. Let them know like, yo, I care about you. I'm not too cool because I have some followers.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to interact with you people.
Right.
I want to interact with everybody and just see what you're about because
Impact over income, baby.
exactly. And that's like the key point is just continue to engage and just provide value,
Yeah.
and your page is going to grow. If you're providing value, I'm going to share your stuff.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So it's like free plugs all the time.
Yeah. And that's applicable literally to whatever the fuck you're trying to do. So
Yeah. And then one other thing that I would say, it's like, I know you said 3 takeaways, but something that's
Nope,
been
nope,
very
you're fucking pushing it. I'm just kidding.
something that's been very like helpful to grow is don't just be all about one thing. Like if I posted just real estate all day on my stories, I think people would lose interest.
Yeah.
But when they know they can relate
Which is
to
something
me,
you're really good at.
like I let people know like, yo, I'm in the gym every day. I'm working hard just like you. I have my bad days.
75, baby. Yo, congrats, by the way.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, it's like I tell people like, yo, I'm having a shit day today.
Yeah.
Because X, Y, and Z.
Well,
I'm
there
not
again.
perfect.
Yeah, there again, like, stop focusing on all the sexy shit. Like, share your L's, too. And
Yeah.
again, like, that's the premise of this whole podcast. But sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you're good. Yeah, it's like letting people know that you're relatable and just showing every aspect of your life, and then
Yeah.
like throwing in like some plugs for your business throughout, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Just get that build up engagement
Yeah.
because people care about everything else. And then they're like, oh, actually, I was just talking to my so-and-so about buying a house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So good handle, short and sweet bio,
Yeah.
content, interaction, and diversification.
Yeah. Definitely diversification.
And that's the fucking recipe right there.
Yeah. And if you apply that consistently, and that, again, I guess you can go back to that. It's just consistency is key. Like,
Yeah.
I always have that red ring around my story. You know what I mean? Let people, like, every single day, I don't think you'll ever see my stories empty unless I'm dead and gone. Like, my stories are.
Unless Instagram is down for 6 hours.
Dude, I literally, like, I think that was the first time I didn't post that I was at the gym in the last 140 days. People messaged me.
Do you
like,
think
yo,
people
did
were
you
nervous?
miss the gym today? And I'm like, no, bro. I was here.
That's fun.
Hit new PR. Let's go.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What was it?
225 on squats, finally.
Woo!
Dude, and it's crazy. That's what I was telling you is, like, when I was doing 75 hard and I was, like, cutting and,
Yeah.
like, not eating, like, a lot of calories, I could not get stronger. And now I'm eating, like, 3,500, 3,800 calories a day. My strength has grown so much in the last month. It's
Yep.
nuts. Dude, my PR was, like, 185.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that out loud.
No judgment here.
315.
No, man, that's awesome. Well, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. It was cool to be able to talk about, like, the other side of business as far, like,
For
separate
sure.
from
I mean,
the
I just
brick
think,
and mortar and
yeah, exactly, and that's very much so what this show is. So appreciate the different outlook on it, and hopefully that can bring some value to people.
thank you, sir.
We'll have you back again for sure.
Definitely.
Let's do it.
Thanks, Josh.
Take it easy, guys.